Well-behaved students singing their school song. This is what we expect from the Japanese. But is it truly representative of life in a Tokyo school? And is there anything we can learn from Japan about how to promote a culture of respect in our schools? Twenty-first century Japan is an intriguing mix of the new and the old. The country's unique culture and customs, shaped by centuries of tradition, live on in modern Japan. Strict rules of etiquette have survived for generations and are still widely valued in schools.
日本だとすごい多分
In Japan, there are lots of rules and regulations. For example, there are even rules about how you go into the classroom, how you enter the staff room. Everything's different.
I think Japanese people's manners must seem quite good from an English person's perspective. Manners are quite important in Japan, and I think it is a very good thing that you learn about manners from day to day in your school life.
Increasingly, the young are challenging their parents' values, and schools are having to adapt to new ways of thinking. Much, however, remains as it's been for over 50 years. Children from the age of 6, when they start school, make their own way in groups with other children unaccompanied by parents. Signs along the roadside indicate that this is a route used by school children.
子供たちが年長の子供が年少の子供を連れて学校に行くとか戻る時もそうする。
The older children accompanying the young to and from school. It's something we also did as children. I think this is very good in terms of having contact with children of different ages. It's important to learn how to communicate and interact with children who are both older and younger than themselves.
子供たちだけで学校に行くということは
I would really like to take him to school myself, but his friends come to pick him up, and the children go to school on their own. I'm hoping that this will nurture a sense of independence.
Okay.
Suginami Daihachi Elementary is in central Tokyo. Here, as in schools across Japan, children are greeted each morning by their head teacher. Everyone bows in Japan. It's not a sign of a particularly formal relationship between the head and the pupils. When entering a school in Japan, everyone removes their shoes and puts on slippers.
はい、皆さんおはようございます。全体くくるですね、その礼儀の基本っていうのは
I believe that all manners which are required for people to live together are founded on caring for and respecting each other.
人間は一人で生きていけない。これはもう自明の理です。
People can't live on their own. Therefore, we must learn how we can strive to improve our lives together as a group. If one person acts selfishly, this affects everyone else. So we encourage the children to think about how we can live in harmony with other people. This means being given duties and responsibilities.
役割と責任ですよね。
At Koenji Junior High in Tokyo, the students are serving lunch. Throughout Japan, children are in charge of the midday meal. It's one of the ways schools encourage a sense of duty and responsibility for others. They're organised into small work groups and perform their duties on a rota basis. At Suginami Daihachi Elementary, these 8 and 9-year-olds are old hands. They've been doing this since they started school.
日本の学校では子供たちが配膳をします。で
In Japanese schools, the pupils serve the meals. It makes it feel more like a family affair. When the children dish out the meal for everyone, it makes it feel more united as a group. And the children are considerate. and don't discriminate about who gets more or less and divide the food equally so everyone can feel good about
同じよう
eating.
にみんなが同じよく気持ちよく食べられるようにというふうに考えて配膳をしてくれます。
And although there are times when it can be dangerous handling hot dishes and breaking glass, on the whole, the children seem to enjoy it very much. When I ask the children which they prefer, they say it is much more fun to have everyone dish out the meal.
だからみんなに配ってもらう方がずっと気持ちがいい、楽しいっていうふうに子供は答えてくれます。
They wait until everyone has been served before they start eating. This has been the routine for over 50 years.
私たちは
It's the way we've always done it. In school, preparing, eating and cleaning up after lunch is a given and accepted as such. In terms of what this nurtures, it encourages cooperation with friends and learning to divide work harmoniously among everyone. I think this is the kind of mind frame it nurtures.
給食も自分でやった方が
Well, somehow the school lunch seems to taste better because we serve it ourselves.
美味しい感じがするような
There are no school caretakers or cleaners. After lunch, everyone cleans the school. Again, working in groups with responsibilities for particular areas. It's the same at every school in Japan. Children are in charge of the cleaning. But staff are keen we shouldn't paint too rosy a picture of pupils' attitudes to their designated tasks.
子どもたちに役割分担というんでしょうかね。それをすることはもう
We divide responsibilities for jobs amongst the pupils, and doing so is second nature to them. They expect to be responsible for something. But I doubt whether this sense of responsibility really extends beyond their designated role. If they are asked to do something that's not their set job, they aren't likely to do it happily.
そこまではちょっと疑問のところはありますね。
掃除をやるのはまあ
I am not too keen on cleaning, but the classroom does become nice and tidy, so I think it's a good thing.
Traditionally, Japanese children have been taught that their personal desires must be placed secondary to the activities of the group. Schools have used this system to encourage them to identify and work with others toward collective goals.
学校では班別指導といいますか
In school, we teach in groups. The curriculum in high school acknowledges that even though the individual is important, it's most important to think about how best to get along with everyone in the group.
When I was in elementary school, we used to have a lot of group works, and we used to compete with all the groups in the class. When I was in junior high school, we used to have a Chinese character test every day. And whenever we got those scores, we pooled those scores in group and we compete with each group. So individual success is not a big matter. It's important to win in group.
学校教育だけじゃなくて文化の面である
There has traditionally been a culture of dislike for sticking out from the crowd. Doing something individually would often be considered to disturb the order, and therefore the children are taught to avoid such tendencies.
他の集団で行動するときにその集団の輪を乱した
People who disrupt the group and break the rules are considered as lacking in both manners and morals and get told off.
先生たちにすごく注意されたりとか
学校の中でその集団生活をしながら
In class, I strive from day to day to foster within the children feelings of having fun and wanting to be a liked and trusted character in the group.
誰か、自分勝手な行動をとると
Gradually, the children begin to understand the pleasure in doing activities as a group and realize that this fun cannot be achieved on one's own. This then translates into the children putting an effort into encouraging each other to obey the rules. I think that's how we maintain order in terms of our rules in the classroom and in the school.
教室のルール、学校のルールっていうのは作ってきている というふうに思っています。
はい、どうぞ。
At Koenji Junior High, as in other Japanese schools, much of the responsibility for maintaining discipline is handed over to the children themselves. Teachers here tend to believe children follow their classmates' directions because of the bonds that develop in the peer group. The smooth running of a Japanese school also relies on a traditional system of junior-senior pairings.
In Japan, especially in terms of sports and group living, we treat people who have been born before ourselves as senpai, senior, and those who have been born later as kohai, juniors. I think this system of obeying seniors and taking care of juniors is derived from the culture of the Japanese family structure.
日本では先輩が
Well, in Japan, your senior is older than you and helps with studying and teaches you sports and stuff. And your junior is someone you help with studies and stuff.
In this school, we try to build a close relationship between the seniors and juniors. We make sure to use the polite forms of speech and make sure we say our greetings. And as time goes by, you begin to respect the seniors very much.
悪いところは
One bad point is that the seniors sometimes make comments about the juniors, and this is scary.
If you are treated kindly by your superior, you return that gesture to your junior. And learning this way of behaving in school is very important.
他じゃあ教えてください。どこ線引きましたか？はい。
7個食べました。
7個食べました。みんなどうですか？
To outside eyes at least, the Japanese school system appears harmonious. But things are changing. In Japan in recent years, there's been a growing awareness of the need to take more account of individual children's particular needs. Some feel this move towards individualism is leading to increased selfishness and a rising number of young people who aren't prepared to go along with traditional respectful behaviour.
おはようございます。どうやって価値観を一つのもっと
Trying to encourage a sense of value in working as a group is very difficult at the moment because people value being an individual more. Things are becoming disjointed. It is my job to try to pull the group back together, make them feel unified as a group again.
通じてまとめてあげていきたいっていうのが僕らの仕事だと思うんですね。